Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Emperor Palpatine and the rise of Skywalker, and what he is and how he is alive. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee.
I have spoken.
Hello there to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding Star Wars Coffee for the first time, be sure to always hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. And don't forget to check out Star Wars Coffee on Twitter and Twitch, and don't forget to check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise. Links are in the description below.
Do it.
And now let's go to a galaxy far, far away.
This is the way.
So in The Rise of Skywalker, we saw the return of Emperor Palpatine, something that we hadn't seen thus far in the sequel trilogy. We did hear a couple of lines from Palpatine in Rey's vision during The Force Awakens, but beyond that, Palpatine has been nameless in this sequel trilogy. However, Palpatine was in all three films of the prequel trilogy, and he was in 2 of the 3 of the original trilogy, and he is finally in the sequel trilogy as well, making him the overall arching big bad of the Skywalker saga, which made me personally happy to see him back on screen once again, especially with Ian McDiarmid. Ian McDiarmid is just one of the best parts of Star Wars, and his character is one of the most underrated parts and characters in all of Star Wars lore, if you ask me. And with The Rise of Skywalker coming out to home release sometime this month, as well as the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker written by Ray Carson, some of that has already leaked as they were giving some copies away at a fan event, and some of those have already leaked onto Reddit and Twitter and all of that, and confirming some of the most important parts of The Rise of Skywalker that adds to the lore from the film. One of those being Emperor Palpatine and how he survived after Return of the Jedi. And the way he survived is he is a clone, and this has been confirmed in several places, 1 in the book, and then 2 in another Star Wars type of article from Cinefex excerpt. So we're going to take a look at the information from The Rise of Skywalker novelization first, and then go from the Cinefex excerpt talking about Palpatine as well, both of which of these sources confirm that Palpatine was indeed a clone. So we get our first confirmation during the scene where Kylo Ren first discovers Palpatine. So that's where we are at this point. All the vials were empty of the liquid save one, which was nearly depleted. Kylo peered closer. He'd seen this apparatus before too, when he'd studied the Clone Wars as a boy. The liquid flowing into the living nightmare before him was fighting a losing battle to disdain the Emperor's putrid flesh.
What could you give me?
Kylo asked. Emperor Palpatine lived after a fashion, and Kylo could feel in his very bones that this clone body sheltered the Emperor's actual spirit. It was an imperfect vessel, though unable to contain his immense power. It couldn't last much longer.
Everything,
Palpatine said.
a new empire.
The creature raised his ruined hand. Kylo sensed him drawing in the Force, but before he could react, his surroundings disappeared, as if into a fog, and a vision filled their place. So that's the excerpt from the novelization of The Rise of Skywalker. Kylo Ren clearly, through his character, informing us that Palpatine is indeed the clone, referencing the Clone Wars, which always appreciate a good prequel reference in there. And so now what we're going to do is take a look at the Cinefex excerpt. It says, quote, Ian McDiarmid reprised his performance of Palpatine as a twisted reincarnation of the character from the original trilogy and prequels. Ian was such a major part of the original films, noted Roger. JJ wanted to bring him back to reveal that Palpatine wasn't completely destroyed in Episode 6. He created a clone of himself, and with the help of Sith loyalists, rebuilt himself to a fragmented and unstable state. When Kylo meets him, Palpatine is not fully formed, and he relies on tubes and mechanics, moving around his Sith laboratory, on a mechanism that Kevin Jenkins designed. He has the spirit of the Sith, but he's trapped inside a body that's incomplete. So both of these things telling us that Palpatine is indeed a clone, that this is not the same Palpatine that we saw at the end of Return of the Jedi. While I'm not happy with the fact that Palpatine was a clone, it does make some sense to help show that Anakin was still the chosen one, defeating the actual Emperor, but now that we have the Emperor in this clone state, it is just, seems to me, just to be as much of a threat, and it proved to be, as the whole film hinged on Palpatine returning. But Palpatine, whether we like it or not, is a clone in The Rise of Skywalker. Whether he is complete or not, he is Ian McDiarmid, it is Palpatine, it's just not the same Palpatine that we knew from the prequel and original trilogy, but a clone of that character that we know and love. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Palpatine should have been a clone? Was it obvious to you? Some people said it was obvious to them, which shocks me to the core. I had no idea that it would be a clone. Some people said it was obvious, most people disagree with that. But if you're one of those people who thought it was obvious, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching, may God bless you, and the Force be with you. If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.